So what if stocks don't work? You can't see my face. Let me get lower. Yeah. I don't know where the camera is still, guys. I'm actually really tall. So, like, I'm not going to be in the camera for this video. But I'll drop my face down for the thumbnail. I don't know how the thumbnail's going to get caught, but I'm going to drop my face down for the thumbnail. Actually, maybe I'll just screenshot. That's where the camera is. You're over here. Screenshot for the thumbnail, like this. Look at the camera. Screenshot for the thumbnail. Got it. Okay. Because I'm up here, so. Okay. So, what if stocks don't work? And I'm saying it loudly because I got the baby over there. I'm making milk. So, imagine? No, I'm preparing milk. Formula. What if stocks don't work, right? That's the fear. What if stocks don't work? Why would I take the money that I'm making from this job as a warehouse worker or an accountant, or maybe you're a librarian or a teacher? Why would I take the money that I work so hard for and put it into something that, what if it doesn't work? What if it's all a scam? You remember FTX, right? You remember, what if the market crashes? Bitcoin. What about Bitcoin? People are talking about Bitcoin now. And when people talk about Bitcoin that I know, or when I look at Bitcoin, I'm like, damn, I wish I could get it now. That's what I know. No, wait. And I could be wrong. It could go to 200,000 today. But when it was at 102,000, I was like, nah, and it came back to 96. I'm fairly confident that being patient is the right thought process right now. This is not to talk about Bitcoin, though. This is about to talk about the idea that what if something doesn't work is a poor reason to not try something that's proven when what you're doing now doesn't work. And I'll say it like this. If your job right now, you don't see a way at freedom, and you can say I'm 65 retirement, whatever, but you need, I don't want to say you need $1 million, but I don't know what your quality of life is going to be if you don't have $1 million. I've never gotten Social Security, but from what I understand, getting $2,000 a month or whatever it is, and if you don't work, because if you go to like Walmart or Publix or something like that, or a local grocery chain, you see a lot of people over 60 working there, and it's not because they want to. Maybe some, but a lot of it is not because they want to. You see a lot of people at the dollar store working, stocking shelves, older women, older men working at the Walmart greeting people, and they walk in and out. They might be doing it because they want to, but I don't think so. So me saying $1 million, I don't have $1 million, but I can do math, right? If I took $1 million and divided by like 100, let's say I want to live to 100, or I want to live to 130, which is where I'm at now. If I divide $1 million by 100, move 2 zeros, that's $100,000, $10,000 a year. Okay, not great. Bad math. Was good. $10,000 a year. Okay. Let's say, and that's $10,000 for 100 years. Let's say I'm 30 now. I want to live another 50 years. Let's say I want to just 80. Just 80. I don't know if I can pick you up while I'm recording this. I'm gonna figure it out though. So first, eye contact. Don't lose eye contact. If I want to live to 80, I want to live 50 years, right? Then $1 million will give me $20,000 a year for 50 years, right? 50,000, 50 times, put the 0 times 20,000 is 200. Multiply 200,000 times 5 is $1 million. Okay, math, correct. So camera's super close. I am maneuvering things that if you saw what was happening on the camera, you would not be happy with me. But I'm gonna make it work because I said I'd make it work. I do what I say. So you're talking about for 50 years, you're talking about $20,000 a year. Can you live off $20,000 a year for the next 50 years till 80? The answer is no. Okay. You can keep doing the math. Once you decide how much money you need to live, you can do the math down to how much money you would need. Now, you don't know what life is going to be like in the future, but you want an apple too? You want another pancake? You can take the chocolate pancake that's up there. Open it and take that chocolate pancake out. That's yours. What? The lemon? Just put the lemon on the counter. Just take it down, put it on the counter, baby. Easy peasy. Super, super easy. I wish I had my tripod low key. But that's okay. Actually, this is perfect though. Because I can feed my daughter and y'all can't see her and everybody's all right. Everybody's good. So what if it doesn't work? So we've already decided, we've already talked about how little $1 million is right now. We understand that. And now we are very clear in understanding that $1 million is not a lot and we need more. Now, Social Security, again, might give you that $2,000, so maybe you don't need $1 million. Maybe you need, X amount of dollars. But it's hard to live on, it would be hard to just live on Social Security. And you've heard this a million times, right? There's a million podcasts that people that talk about you can't live on, you need money. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm joining them, but I'm joining them from the angle of like, what if it doesn't work? Okay. Well, what you're doing now won't work. That's almost guaranteed. 2, you want to look at, has it worked? Can you find people, maybe not in real life, because doing uncommon things is uncommon. Why are you climbing up there, yo? Water? Your water bottle's up here. It's going to be hard to find that because it's an uncommon thing for people to make a living with stocks. So you might not find somebody in real life, but you can find somebody on Google. Like, are there people who live off dividends? Is it possible to live off dividends? Okay, well, what is a dividend? A dividend is a share of profit that a company gives to its shareholders. Is it possible to live off shared profit? Well, that's obviously yes. If I make $10 and for every $10 I make, I give you, it's not going to be $10. It's not going to be $1, not 10%, but let's say I gave you 50 cents. Every $10 I earn from my job, I give you 50 cents. Which is what's that? Every $10 I give you 50 cents. That's 10%. That's 5%. Wow, my math today. That's 5%. 10% is $1. Half of $1. That's 5%. So if I made $100,000 a year, I would be giving you 5%, right? 5% of $100,000 a year would be $5,000. $100,000, 10% is 10,000. Half of 10% is 5%, is 5,000. So I'll be giving you $5,000 a year if I give you $5,000 of the 10%. If I give you 5% of my $100,000. So could you live off of shared profits depending on what percentage you get? Yes. Is it possible to accumulate a certain number of shares given that you're going to receive a percentage of the profits from the company that you bought? Does that make logical sense? Yes. If I can buy pieces of the company and they give me a portion of the profit based on the business that they do, could I live off of that? Well, the answer is yes. Because if you need $60,000 a year to live, then all you would need to do is put together a portfolio of shares of dividend companies or company such that the amount that they pay you is equivalent to $60,000 and maybe and a little bit more because of taxes. Maybe a little bit more that you probably want like $70,000 and give the IRS money that they didn't earn, which is what the IRS is for. So could you do that logically? Yes. Okay. So we understand that like the logic could work. The logic could make sense. So then the next question is, I've never seen a YouTube video angled like this. This is awful. But we're here. Hey, can you not make noises? I'm trying to record a video. Thanks. So then the next thing is, okay, it makes logical sense, but what if the market crashes? Well, are there companies that are able to pay dividends when the market crashes? Yes. You can simply just Google that. Or Google stock market crashes in the last 50 years. Take those dates and Google and Google, companies that have paid profits for the last 50 years. And you can look and see, did these companies stop paying dividends during these crashes? And you'll find, without a doubt, that no, a lot of these companies have paid dividends through these crashes. Okay. So you can decide to go that route, or you can decide to go appreciation route, where you may not want to receive a dividend, but you want the value of the company to go up, so the value of your ownership goes up, so you can sell your ownership in the future for more money than you put in. Does that logic make sense? Yes, right? If we all pitch in to buy a house, let's say it's a $20 house, you and I pitch in, we bought a house for $10 a piece, the house is $20, and in a month, someone comes by and say, hey, this is a nice house. Can I buy it for 30? We can look at each other and be like, yeah, you get $5, I get $5. That's a nice little profit. We can find another $20 house, do it again. Or we can say, no, we're going to hold on to this one. And we wait, and maybe somebody comes by and says, instead of buying it for 30, we'll buy it for 40. Like appreciation, the concept of appreciation works. It's proven. So what if stocks don't work? Well, there's a 50% chance, not 50%, it's far less than 50%, but we'll do 50 for the average person to be able to really understand, me being average too. There's a chance it couldn't work, but the principles that underpin the market, the principles that underpin this thing are sound. Now, I can't speak for crypto, but if you bought Bitcoin a couple years ago and you own it today, you've made a lot of money, and like real money, like not like fake internet money. Like you can sell your Bitcoin, go to a bank, cash out actual cash and walk around with it, or buy gold, or buy a fancy car, or buy a fancy house, real money. So there's a huge appreciation factor with Bitcoin if you understand what you're doing. But the same principle does underlie the Bitcoin market, where you're not talking about profits, but you're talking about if somebody's willing to come by and buy it from you from less than what you pay for it, you have something there. So what if it doesn't work? Well, do the principles work? Yes, fundamentally they work, and they will not go away, right? I can own a chicken, and you want a chicken, you pay me more than what I think the chicken is worth. The chicken can pay dividends in eggs or whatever, right? So the principles themselves work. They don't go anywhere. It just so happens we're looking at this marketplace. So what if stocks don't work is not a well thought out question. And I'm here to help dispel that, because I think most people are rather intelligent, but they just haven't looked at the question from a more well thought out angle. And that angle is, if what I'm doing right now won't work based on the math, you take $60,000 and stretch it over your lifetime, are you able to save more than $1 million? The answer is no, you're not. Is Social Security going to give you $1 million? No, it's not. If those things are quite obvious to you and they make sense, then the next question you really want to ask yourself is, of the things that are out there, what is something that is tried and true? What is something that is proven to work and has worked? The stock market, okay. Real estate, okay. I guess you can say crypto, because it is working. You don't know how long it'll work, but it is working. It's unequivocal. It's obvious. Starting a business works. There are things that work unequivocally. Now you have to align yourself. Your goal is to choose to align yourself with the thing that you feel most comfortable with. The goal of this video is to help people build comfort in stocks. Now, you buying stocks doesn't benefit me, because the real money is putting millions and billions of dollars behind ownership in companies. I won't benefit from 10 people seeing this video and going buying a stock. You're not going to buy. When I sell it, you're not going to be the one to buy it. It's going to be institutions. But I want people like me who have a negative net worth to understand that the what if stocks don't work is that we can look at the question a different way, and we can really position ourselves mentally to take a longer look at my job and how it will serve me when I get to the place that I'm using the job to get to. If you're only using your job to live for tomorrow, then, I mean, I'm sure it serves that purpose, assuming your job allows you to take all 24 hours tomorrow and do whatever you want. If your job does not, then there is a time period that you're looking forward to where you have that time. And does your job serve that point? Whether you're 50, 60, 70, whether you're 30, 40, whenever you decide to have a day where you could just, no, I don't have to go anywhere for a week or 2 weeks or a month, or I want to decide. There are vehicles that allow us to do that. So 50 minutes is long enough. But those are some things we want to think about. Like, what if stocks don't work? Well, the thing you're doing is if there's an absolute, if there's a concrete thing that's already not working and you're involved in it, then you reposition the question, you reframe the question in, how do I make something work that's already working? How do I make this thing work that's already proven to work? How can I make it work for me? And you do that by buying your first stock. So link in the bio, 7 days to buying your first stock. I'll walk you through it. I had to drop that in there. If you've made it 16 minutes, great. You start by buying your first stock and then working the principles from there. All right, guys.